Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This time we're going to be confronting the age-old question of who would have been the more powerful Jedi? Luke Skywalker, the son, or Anakin Skywalker, the father? Now it's important to recognize that these two did follow very different paths. We know the story of Anakin Skywalker, his fall to the dark side, his utter physical destruction at the hands of Obi-Wan Kenobi on the planet Mustafar. Whereas Luke instead maintained his physical abilities, reached an older age, and faded into the Force peacefully. So there are a couple of different ways to approach this question in regards to looking at the potential of each of these individuals and what they were ultimately able to accomplish. You know that Anakin Skywalker was the chosen one, a highest midichlorian count ever seen by the Jedi at that time, and was an excellent warrior. His feats during the Clone Wars and in combat in general earned him very high remarks amongst members of the Jedi Order, who held his piloting prowess in high regards as well. Luke Skywalker, on the other hand, did not have the formal training that Anakin did, but even for a lesser amount of time, he did receive training from Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda. So it's not entirely out the realm of possibility that Luke did receive very similar teaching to Anakin, considering that it's coming from that same branch, that same generation of Jedi. Difference being Luke was taught at a much older age, and Luke did not have the extensive amount of time to train that Anakin did during his years with the Jedi Order. The other thing we have to look at too, so Anakin in his defeat on Mustafar and his transformation into the cybernetic parts of Darth Vader, he lost a lot of his midichlorian count. That kind of wrecked his potential of what he was ultimately going to be. Anakin in his prime easily would have been the most powerful Jedi of all time. That kind of came with that high midichlorian count, the prophecy of being the chosen one. And because that was cut short, as Vader, he was never able to reach that full potential. Luke, on the other hand, did not have that similar type of setback. He did lose his hand, so lost a little bit of midichlorians there. But Luke was kind of able to become the better version of what Anakin should have been. And that's a large reason why Emperor Palpatine was so invested in turning Luke to the dark side. Because maybe not quite as high as his father's, Luke still had a very high midichlorian count, and more importantly had that Skywalker bloodline, which was very strong with the Force. He viewed Luke as being a better version of Anakin Skywalker, having more potential and having more ability during his prime. Anakin's prime was viewed by Palpatine as having been wasted after losing his duel with Kenobi. But going back to a defense for Anakin Skywalker, his experience during the Clone Wars does give him a huge edge over Luke Skywalker because he has that combat experience and just having more experience in general when it comes to facing off against other Force users. Anakin had to go up against the likes of Count Dooku, Asajj Ventress, and others, while Luke Skywalker's primary opponent during his early years was his father, Darth Vader. And in the duel in Empire Strikes Back, we know that Vader is not at full power. He's holding back because he's trying to turn Luke instead of destroy him. I believe at that point in time, if he wanted to destroy Luke, it would have been over very quickly. Return of the Jedi, I do believe that Vader was still holding back a little bit, but Luke was able to easily overtake Vader once he started tapping into his rage and anger, which fueled Luke's power in the Force. So, if we are looking purely at potential, I do believe Anakin Skywalker would have been more powerful if he had continued on the path he was on without becoming maimed on Mustafar. I think he would have been more powerful than Luke could have accomplished in his lifetime. But as it stands overall, and if we're going off of Expanded Universe Luke as well, Expanded Universe Luke is one of the most powerful Jedi to ever live. So if we're basing it off of that and not the canon Luke Skywalker that we get in the films, Expanded Universe Luke Skywalker clears his father. And you're talking becoming the Grand Master of the Jedi Order, establishing a new Jedi Order, facing off against generations of threats, defeating Palpatine. The Luke Skywalker of the Legends Expanded Universe lore is probably the most powerful Jedi in Star Wars. Anakin Skywalker, on the other hand, if not for his unfortunate fall at the hands of Kenobi on Mustafar, would have reached that level. But I do think at the end of the day, we have to give it to Luke Skywalker. Let me know what you think in the comments below. That's going to be it for this video. I appreciate you watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the Star Wars content we got coming. Consider joining the channel membership. Become one of the Star Wars United Army. That's going to be it for now. May the Force be with you. Now let's blow up that like button and go home.